Samuel Bala. Okay, so I want you guys to listen to this song before I start because this song actually caters or it goes with the title of the message.
Maker of the heavens, I am the bright and morning star, I am the breath of all creation, who always was and is to come. I am the one who walked on water, the one who calmed the seas, I am the miracles and wonder. So come and see, or follow me, and you will know that I am the fount of living water, the risen Son of Man, the healer of the broken. Spirit deep inside you, I am the word upon your heart, I am the one who even knew you before your birth, before you were. I am the fount of living water, the risen Son of Man, the healer of the broken. And when you cry, I am your Savior and Redeemer, who bore the sin of the man, the author and perfecter, beginning and the end. I am, yes I am. Throughout the earth, I am the universe, I am in every heart, I am where you are, I am the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, the Holy Lamb above all things. Yes, I am Almighty God, your Father, the risen Son of Man, the healer of the broken. And when you cry, I am your Savior and Redeemer, who bore the sin of the man, the author and perfecter, beginning and the end. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh,
So yeah, today's message, the title is God's I Am versus My I Am. Je dis à message, moi te senti, bon Dieu mette sou kem pou m'preche, c'est le bon Dieu dit comme ça, I am, c'est moi-même, and moi comparé avec les moins dit tête moi, qui moun moi. Qui moun bon Dieu dit lié, qui moun moins dit mieux. Ce deux bagages ça m'a comparé jeudi pendant moi le prêcher. So today's message is God's I am versus my I am. And we're going to focus on Exodus 3, chapter 3, verse 11 and 14. That's Those are the two verses we're going to really key in and speak about. Okay? So, nous allons parler vraiment sur Exode 3, verset 11 à verset 14. Okay? Okay. But Moses said to God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" Now, this is God. God said to Moses, "I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites." I am has sent me to you. Now, I don't know about you guys. It's this whole idea of self-worship, self-righteousness. And you hear a lot of people talk about the key to success or the secret to success, and they always start with you. And some people have it down packed. Some people have that drive where they can, when they look within themselves, they are full of encouragement. They are full of positivity. They are full with "I can do" and "I will." Some people are assertive, where some people are passive. Okay? And based on that, a lot of people have found success in their own way, right? But at the end of the day, when you ask yourself, you compare, you ask, who am I and who God is, right? Because this whole new thing that's going on right now is self-worship, and everybody's worshiping themselves, you know, and even with the world is sort of something that we can expect. We can expect for the world to actually lean towards self. But as a believer, sometimes we tend to forget that we serve someone. We're not our own. But the whole idea of encouragement, the whole idea of self-talk, the whole idea of thinking positively is something that is praised even amongst believers. And we sometimes don't see the folly in that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with patting yourself in the back. There's nothing wrong in believing in yourself. There's nothing wrong knowing and thinking that you can achieve your greatest heights. There's nothing wrong with that. But the key is, do not replace who God is with who you are. See? And it can even be for someone who says that they think bad of themselves, even when you pity yourselves. It don't matter how you think about yourself. The minute you take God out the picture, God's "I am" out the picture, and you put your "I am." So now what we're talking about is the attributes. So we're talking about the attributes of God and our attributes as individuals. And as believers, we sort of say, well, I'm a believer, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't worship self. And especially being under grace, we tend to give that to the Lord's believers. We tend to give that to people who are so religious, but us thinking that we have this down pack and then we are on the right path and then, you know, we know right division and all that, so therefore we are not worshiping self. But I have news for you. It is so easy to fall folly. It is so easy to be led astray sometimes that the knowledge that we carry in our head will lead us to a path that seems wide, but in our mind, it doesn't seem like that. So we too can fall folly to this self-worship. And this self-worship is being self-centered. And it has to do with thinking of self. And even though you're not thinking positively, but even if you pity yourself, the minute you take God, "I am," and you put "I am," then you are in trouble and you're in danger of this wrong. And I'm going to go back again. Perfect example is Moses. Remember the nation of Israel after Egypt was led during the famine, after Jacob had died, when Joseph was sold into slavery. Everything that God said to Abraham that would take place started taking place. Jacob died, and all his children, including Joseph, who went before him, were sold into slavery, went into Egypt, into bondage. But before bondage, Joseph himself was a pharaoh in Egypt. Joseph was living a good life. Then when his father died, all his brethren moved to Egypt, and they were living the good life. Then Joseph died, and all his brothers died, and even the pharaohs that was there, that admired Joseph, that put Joseph second in command, and that catered to Joseph's family, that pharaoh died. And what God had promised the nation of Israel, that they would go into a nation that is not a nation, that is not a home, that is foreign, a land that is foreign, and be a slave, and they would come out. That's exactly what happened. They were in bondage. They were in slavery. When the pharaoh that was there, when Joseph was around, when that pharaoh died and a new pharaoh came into power, he realized that the children of Israel was getting too much. They were growing in numbers, in population, and he was afraid. And he knew that these people were not of this land and they were foreign. It's just like us being Black people. We're on this land, and at the same time, we're brought here in slavery. And even after so-called slavery has ended, then we had segregation, but still, we are considered what they would call, minority. But in reality, it's though that the other race, the other group feels like they are the minority, but they are telling us we are the minority when we are the majority. So therefore, we are being oppressed just like these people were oppressed. The nation of Israel were oppressed. So now, this is what Moses said. Moses, after he fled Egypt, after he killed an Egyptian, then God is bringing Moses closer to him. Then one day Moses decided to go up the mountain and see for himself. Then when Moses got up there, he saw a burning bush, he saw a flame, but he couldn't look at it. Moses heard God speaking to him. But when God told Moses what to do, this is what Moses responded to. But Moses said to God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" Now we can say, wait a minute, how is Moses worshiping himself? He's not talking about I'm going to be Pharaoh. Moses is not talking about, well, how I'm going to single-handedly just bring out the children of Israel out of bondage. But how can this man be worshiping himself? Yes, Moses is right now worshiping himself. Moses, in verse 11 of chapter 3 of Genesis, is at his own altar, where he's worshiping himself. He has pity on himself. Why? Because Moses, at this point, does not know who God is. If you see in Exodus 14, God said to Moses, when Moses says, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh?" God is like, no. It is not who you are. It is who is sending you. That's what matters. That's who you should look at. Do not look at yourself. Do not worship yourself. But this is who is sending you. I am is sending you. Take self out. Don't worship yourself. Worship me. I am who I am. This is what you ought to say to the Israelites. I am has sent me to you. So who is this I am that is supposed to come as an umbrella and take your entire life? Who is this I am? The minute you believe, your life seems to be a shadow, is of non-existence. Who is this I am that you are supposed to give everything to? And every knee shall bow to this I am. Who is this I am? As Moses is about to find out that this I am, and he says it, I am the God of your father. I am the God of Jacob. I am the God of Isaac, the God of Abraham. This is I am who sent you. We can see today, if we ask just like John, just like Jesus asked Peter, who do men say that I am? Some says that you are John the Baptist. Some says that you're Elijah. That is in Matthew 16. Jesus asked Peter that question. It is a question that was going around throughout when Christ was walking on the earth, when he became fleshed, when the I am that was in the burning bush became fleshed. It was a word that was thrown around. It was a question that everybody was asking, who are you? Who are you? And it's still this day that every denomination has questioned this I am. But sometimes we as believers, as grace believers, we tend to forget that we are guilty of this same question that is being asked. Who is this I am? But we worship self instead of this I am. It is easy to believe in oneself, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. It is so easy to look in the mirror and see yourself. It is easy to look in the mirror to see all your attributes, to see your strong points and your weak points. But my friend, when Moses was on that mountain, when Moses was speaking to God, God was letting him know, it is no longer you who matters, but it is I who matters. We live in a world right now where it's a lot of doubts, it's a lot of questioning, it's a lot of things going on. A lot of things that's happening that we didn't expect, some that we did know but happened so soon. It's like our world has been shaken. Where do we go to? It's so easy to turn to self. It's so easy to worship self. When you can't trust your government, when sometimes you can't even call the so-called preachers that have platforms to preach the word of God to you, who do you turn to? The only person you'll turn to, you'll say is, you're going to turn to yourself. Whether it's your strength or your weakness, that's what you're going to lean towards. It is so easy to cave under the pressure of society. It is so easy to give into your distress, your persecution, trials and tribulation. It is so easy to fall under the weight of all our trials and tribulation. It is so easy to worship self. But today, I'm reminding you, I am that I am has sent me and said, I am not to deliver you with a rod or with a staff, but I'm to deliver with a word, with his word. For it says, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God, and the word became flesh. The word walked among men and dwelt among men, and the word gave himself for humanity and was taken up. And today the word has dwelt within me and within us. And he says this, I will deliver my people with my word. I am that I has sent me to tell you this today. Whoever's listening, wherever you are, fix your eyes upon God. Fix your ears. Listen to God. Give your heart to God, your soul, everything that you are. Cease to exist. For it is no longer you, but it is I am that exists. And that I am is not your I am. And I'm going to show you the difference between that I am and the who you think you are. So we get lost in the I am. And that's why in the title of the sermon that I purposely had the title like this, God's I am versus my I am. When you look at God's I am, it's in capital. When you look at my I am compared to myself, compared to men, I lowered it. I am. And we're going to look at the attributes, because if I was to ask, or you were to ask, who is Greg? I will tell you all my flaws and all my strength and all my weakness. I would give you my attributes. But now let's compare God's I am, God's attribute, who is God, and why we need to cease to exist the minute we place our trust in this I am. the attributes of God. I am. John 8, verse 58. I am who I am. That's Exodus 3, verse 14. Okay. Who is Greg? I am Greg. I'm 36 years old. I'm such and such I'm 5'8.5", weigh about 190 pounds. That's as far as I can go. What are some of my strong points? I'm a great listener. Okay. But now let's look at God's I am. He says, I am the Alpha and Omega, meaning I am the beginning and the end. What beginning am I? Who is Greg? I did not even know when I was going to be born. Someone had to tell me when I was born. And I don't even know when I'm going to die. Even if a doctor gives you a death sentence, they still can tell you the time or the hour, the day you're going to die. But God says, I am the Alpha and Omega. I am the beginning and the end. Beginning of what? What beginning and what end? That is something to ponder on. I am from above. Where are we from? God is from above. He created us. Yes, but placed us here. But he is from above. I am God Almighty. The word Almighty, how mighty are we? What strength? I don't care, the strongest man on earth could bench press 300-400 pounds. One of the greatest bodybuilders, black bodybuilders that I knew of, who so-called walked this earth, I would say was Ronnie Coleman, won Mr. Olympia. It's a bodybuilding tournament about 8 times. This man was bench pressing and lifting like 600-700 pounds. Where's Ronnie Coleman now? Almost crippled. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Where are all the great kings? You talk about Caesar, you talk about Alexander the Great, you talk about Genghis Khan, you talk about Attila the Hun, you talk about, when you talk about empires upon empires, they all have fallen. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Babylon has fallen. Nebuchadnezzar, every last great and mighty kingdom, mighty men that ever walked the earth has fallen. But I am that I am, God Almighty, still stands. In John 18, he says, I am he. In Isaiah 51:12, he says, I am he who comforts you. I have news for you guys. We can give a helping hand. We can give an ear to our brothers and sisters. We can try as much to comfort one another. But no one truly shares our pain, our sorrows, or everything that we've experienced. No one truly can identify with that but God. In medicine, there's this saying, this, in a sense, it's almost like being, I wouldn't say being political, but you cannot say to a client, I know exactly how you feel. You cannot say that. You can say, I see what you're going through. I see that. I can see that you're feeling such and such, but you cannot say, you know. It is wrong to tell a client that. But you, God, can tell each and every one, I know exactly how you're feeling, and I feel it too. I am he. I am he who comforts you. I am holy. In 1 Peter 1:16, I am holy. Brothers and sisters, I have news for you. In Romans 3, it says that all men have come short and all have sinned, and no one is righteous. All are guilty. So who am I to be holy? The only way to be holy is to deny self and carry on and put on the cloth of I am that I am, which is God. I am the door in John 10, verse 9. What door? Sometimes we can't even open our own door to let our brothers and sisters crash in our own place when they're looking for a place to stay. Sometimes our doors are shut to people that needs a home to stay. So what doors are we? We can't even open a door from someone. Let's invite someone in. What door? But I am that I am is that. I am the door of the sheep. I am the good shepherd. Once again, a lot of us have this platform, but what are we doing? We are letting people astray. I am the light of the world. Sometimes we can't even be an example to our family. How can we be a light unto the world if it's not through that I am, if it's not through God? I am the bread of life. I am the Lord, and there is no other. In Isaiah 45, verse 5, I am the Lord who heals you. I am the Lord who makes all things. I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. I am the Lord of God who divided the sea. I am the Lord your God who teaches you to profit. I am the Lord exercising loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness. I am the Lord your Holy One. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the root and offspring of David. I am the Son of God. Who do men say that I am? Peter replied, you are the Son of God. Now my question is, who do you say that you are? And if you answer yourself, you give me your name, I will say you are guilty of this folly. You are guilty of denying the I am that I am. You're worshiping self. When I ask you, who do men say that you are today? I am reversing it. You are to say, I am have sent me. Not Greg, not Kelly, not whoever's on this line, but I am have sent me. That is all you ought to reply. Do not say, I, Moses, come to deliver. I am has sent me onto this earth to be a light. I am has sent me onto this earth to bring the word. I am has sent me onto this earth to be an example. I am has sent me to give the good news of the gospel of grace. I am has sent me. I am denying self and I am taking up the attributes. I am taking up, I am putting my trust, I am clothing myself in the Godhead. I am putting everything that I am and everything that I am not in the who is I am. And ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about putting on the armor of God and we meditate on these words, but we need to believe and we need to know who we serve. It is so easy to say, yes, I'm going to meditate on this word, but do we really know who we serve? When we think about David, when we have this picture in our head of David with a slingshot and a couple of stones against a mighty Goliath, what picture comes to your head? How do I slay? It's like saying here you are in front of a dinosaur and then all you have is some stone to face a T-Rex. How do I do it? But when you look and remember that I am has sent me to slay these beasts, then you can say that I have no fear. Though we may be in bondage where we are, though we may be in a land that is not ours, though we may be passing by, but we know we have a Passover. We know we have the I am that I am that has encompassed everything, that has experienced everything, that has covered us all. We know no weapon formed against us shall prosper. We know we've been equipped with every weapon possible. But when you deny his I am and take your I am, you pick up your own weapon. And believe me, your weapon is not a match for anything or anyone. Self-worship is something that is amongst all of us. It's something that we all do. Even as grace believers, we have dreams and goals and ambition. All of that is great. But let's pray that all of that serves the I am that I am, and all of that aligns with the will of I am that I am, which is God. Deny self. So Though we have a name, all of us, our parents gave us a name. Their parents gave them a name. But God is the one that has a name for us. Our name is not even yet mentioned. The name of I am that I am is so sacred. The Hebrews dare not to, they sort of almost wanted to hide that name. So they disguise it in other names. But I am that I am is the name of God. I am that I am means he is all that, no question asked. That is it. Infinite. I am the beginning and the end. There's nothing in between. That's it. I am that I am. Everything you could think about, think of the universe, think about death, life, everything. Trials, tribulation, sorrow, joy, peace, happiness, everything. He says, I am that I am. They all fall into one basket. I am that I am is the universe. I am that I am is the present. God is omnipotent. God is omnipresent. God is omniscient. But our names are not even yet to be made known to us. How crazy is that? We walk around and we take such pride in who we are, in our name, a government document. But only if you were to know that I am that has sent us into this world. We are ambassadors, we are citizens of heaven. So therefore our government is not of earth, it is of heaven. So therefore our document really is sealed in heaven and our name is not even yet mentioned to us. But all we know is we carry one's name and it is his name we carry. We carry his seal and we carry his seal to put on any document that this world might throw upon us. We have a document, we have a seal that is greater than any other man's seal. It is the seal of that I am, which is God. Oh, what a pleasure it will be when we get up there, when I am that I am welcome us and tell us our name that is in the book of life. I can't wait for that day to see who am I. For I already know, but I can't wait to see that name that is written in the book of life. That is not Greg, but it is the name that my father gave me, that my mother on earth does not even know. I myself does not know, but he knows it. It is the name I am trying to live up to, the name that God gave me. So I am no longer Greg, I deny myself. I am a man with no home on earth, but yet I am a citizen of heaven. I am a man with no name here, but my name is from above. I am simply, I am have sent me. I am no man, but I am have sent me. I am one in the wilderness, I am one. I am a voice calling out. I am has sent me. Ladies and gentlemen, this was not my message. This was given to me to give to you. So these are the attributes of the I am. This is the God that we serve. When we look at our problems, when we look at our lives, when we get depressed, when some of us might give up too soon, when some of us might think and contemplate of giving up in life, remember, you are not who you think you are. As a matter of fact, you do not even exist. You only exist in God. Deny self. The secret to success is not you. The secret to success is I am has sent me. I am that I am. The secret to success is God. Clothe yourself in his power. Put on the whole armor. Be strong in him, not in you. You have no might, you have no strength, you have no bite, you have no fight. You are no one. Deny self and take up God.
Maker of the heavens, I am bright and morning star I am, the breath of all creation, who always was and is to come. I am the one who walked on water. I am the one who calmed the seas. I am the miracles and wonder. So come and see. We'll follow